All right, we're actually rolling, so you can start whatever you like.
Oh, really? Okay. Hi. My name is Sarah. I live in Madison, Wisconsin. I was born and raised, as they say, in Mazomanie, Wisconsin, 30 miles west of here, in the Wisconsin River Valley, which is my connection, one of my major connections to living in and loving Wisconsin. My parents were farmers from grandparents who were farmers. And I have lived in Wisconsin my whole life. I went to school at the university here in Madison. I'm a nurse, and I worked with children for the last 37 years. University of Wisconsin Hospitals, and now in the Madison school system. So haven't gone too far from home. Always thought I would or I should, but in the last few months, something that had been happening over the last year came pretty full circle in that I'm here, and everything I need to do, I can do here. And that's been a wonderful sort of knowledge to have. I've traveled a lot. I've been in and out of Wisconsin, all 50 states almost. Didn't make it to Hawaii. And I love what I've been able to learn by leaving and coming back. I'm feeling nostalgic and kind of sad right now about changes in our state, but I'm very accepting of them. Over the last couple of weeks, I've realized that in order to move ahead with my changes, I need to see what's here and make decisions about how to be here in what seems like a new climate or a heightened sort of picture of our state right now. So I am leaving my current job. I'm going to look for the next instructions that Wisconsin will give me, and sort of reincarnate myself as a worker with people, which is what I've chosen to do in my life and which I will continue to do. I've done that in the public arena, not consciously. That's just where the work was. That's where I went. And I look forward to seeing what's happening next. A big piece of Wisconsin for me is my family, and my father was a farmer, but he was a restless farmer, and at age 50 he left the land, so to speak, and took a year to sit and look out the window. And his reincarnation was, or his development was into being a politician. So what's happening here right now feels familiar to me in that as a adolescent, I watched him run for office. I watched him become a supervisor in Dane County. I watched him become a leader of the Dane County Board of Supervisors as a Republican, as somebody who had a pretty conservative fiscal view, a pretty intelligent view, and he was a listener. We would have people at our door with their stories and with their requests and with their concerns, and they would come into our living room, and he would sit and talk with them. And it wasn't about whether they were a Democrat or not. The supervisor position was nonpartisan, but everybody knew who was on which side. But people sat down and worked together. People went out to dinner together. When my father died 14 years ago, there was a stream of people through who I didn't know, who I'd never met, who told me how much they'd missed my father's counseling and listening. So I've never declared myself to be a politician or political or a Republican or a Democrat. But the last few months in our state, I've had to examine those choices. And what I'm excited about with this project is that it fits into the way I feel we need to move ahead in our state, which is in a storytelling, listening mode, a searching for understanding. between people. And, you know, I've done my share of a lot of witnessing and participating in the last several months. It feels like several months. February 13th was my first day on the Capitol. I've taken a side. I've said my piece. And I have beliefs, but I'm at a point, I'm at a crossroads where I'm staying committed to this state and looking ahead and trying to live a vision of it coming together again. Because that was my experience as a child, as an adolescent, as a young adult, as a professional, as a worker. That's been my experience of Wisconsin. The image for me is the river. My father was a corn farmer, but in addition to the cows and the fields, you know, we spent weekends and summers on the Wisconsin River, and it gives me great hope, you know, to think about my future here and my children's future. I'm not sure they'll be here. One's in California, one's just graduating in 2 weeks from this university. But they have roots here that they talk about and that they're very proud of. And if anything can come out of the distress or the division that feels like is in our state right now, I think it clarifies. It's an environment for getting clear on who you are, what you believe, and where your commitments are. So I'm speaking with gratitude, you know, for the people who came before me and my family, my ancestors, my farmer grandparents, and the land, and the learning, you know, the great honoring of knowledge in this state and learning in our schools and universities. So that's my hope, you know, and that's my commitment. I'm from Wisconsin and I'm staying.
That was beautiful.
Okay.
Really beautiful.
Okay. Well, I've thought a lot about it, but I didn't plan on doing this.